When I first saw this space, I was really excited because I was downsizing from a larger home with my son, and I wanted a space that had a really great flow and a great use of space. This condo is about 600 square feet, but it's a really open concept, so it feels much larger. When I began the design of this space, because I came from a larger home, I still wanted to entertain. I wanted a great big dining room table, a great sitting area, and just a space where I could live the same way I did in my home. There were definitely some limitations. There's a tiny kitchen along one side, it's long and narrow, so everything's kind of open to each other and squished in, so I ignored it. The biggest misconception with condos is to go teeny tiny with scale. You know what that does? It makes a space feel teeny tiny because it's cluttered and there's a lot of small things. I went big. I put a giant dining table in instead of an awkward little island like people typically do, and I made the entry a part of that dining space. Because it's a small space, I needed more storage for stuff for the kitchen and clothes and shoes. So I opted to put in a really great bank of storage. These are actually from the kids department at IKEA. So they're toy bins, each one pulls out. I have samples for clients, I have kitchen things, and then it tops off at the end with these tiny wardrobes for shoes and blazers. So this dining table with that bench seats 10 people, and it's because I hugged the wall with those storage bins, and that becomes a bench. It's also my office sometimes, it's where my son does homework, and it's where we play board games. In my previous house, I had this sofa, it's Montauk. I love it. It was my big investment piece, and it's a big sofa, and I think this proves you don't have to do condo size because this has tons of seating and then everything works around it. It was a challenge where to put the TV, so I chose to tuck it in beside the kitchen. I don't want that the center of attention. And then by putting a credenza in front of the windows, it's sort of this termination point, and you have a beautiful vista when you come in. Everything I want or need is in this space, but it doesn't feel busy, and that's because I kept everything really open. This chair has this open back style. The table is up on a really slim leg, so your eye travels through. Even the credenza is on legs, which allows a sort of transfer. Your eyes travel through, and it doesn't feel all chunky. The art in the space is sort of collected. The pieces over the sofa I used on an episode of Income Property, and the piece over the bar cart I found at the Habitat Restore when I was out shopping for something else. $70. Like many condos, there's a glass sliding door from the open living space to my bedroom, so I put the bed directly across. So that's the focal point. And then I just pulled some storage along the window wall that kind of mirrors what's happening out here. The vibe of the bedroom is very casual. I want people to look in and not see this formality. I opted to not do nightstands and actually 2 little chairs. Again, it's just casual. I want it to kind of feel collected, and it's functional. I can pull those out if I need extra seating in the living room. My son's bedroom is actually what is to be the den, so there's no door, and you travel through it to go to the washroom, so it was a little bit tricky. So I ended up just closing off the side with his storage. I made his bed sort of covered with pillows so that when you travel through, it almost feels like a day bed. And then making the art the focal point, you see that as opposed to all of his stuff, which we've hidden away. This is my own home, and I do work in design, so it's never done. It's a constant evolution, but it's things like this, you know, blankets, pillows, art. I'm always changing the accessories. When I moved here, I thought it would be for a short time, and it's been 3 years. And I have to say, I'm comfortable here. I never thought I would like condo living, but I really like it. There's a simplicity in it.